Today's episode, we are going to be diving into one of my favorite topics. This is why creative founders are broke. Let me say something that nobody in design school ever told me. Your talent, it's not enough. Now, I know that that's hard to hear, especially if you've spent years sharpening your craft, pouring yourself into your work, bleeding your creativity onto the page, the canvas, the screen. But hear me out. Because understanding why talent alone isn't enough is the thing that will finally change your financial reality as a creative. Most creative founders stay broke, not because they're untalented, not because the market doesn't want what they're making, okay? But because of a gap between a brilliant artist and being a functioning business owner. And today, we're closing that gap. One of the most important things a mentor of mine told me is that creativity alone is never enough. Now, at the time, I didn't fully get it. I thought she was being a bit cynical. I thought, I'm gonna prove her wrong. My work will speak for itself. And honestly, it did for a while. After my degree in fashion design, my early opportunities came in almost entirely organically, okay? My first sales, my first clients, they found me. I didn't really have to chase anybody. And if I'm being honest, that felt like validation at the time. It felt like proof that I was one of the lucky ones. But what I didn't realize was that I was building on a foundation of sand. I wasn't building a business. I was just surfing on good fortune and calling it a strategy. And I see this pattern constantly in designers, photographers, artists, architects, writers, you name it. Incredibly talented people who are chronically underpaid, chronically stressed, and chronically wondering why their career isn't growing the way that they imagined. So this video is for you. We're going from broke, starving artist into thriving creative entrepreneur. And we're doing it through the lenses of mindset, market, and money. Before we get into the solutions, I need to actually name these problems because you can't fix what you haven't diagnosed, right? Problem one, assuming your art will sell itself. I did this. My early work sold organically. Heck, I even got celebrity clients in Los Angeles, high-profile magazine features for my company. I'm talking British GQ, Harper's Bazaar Vietnam, and honestly, I got comfortable. I didn't build systems. I didn't plan for scale. I just rode the wave and hoped that wave would never come to an end. But you know what happened? I got burnt out. I wanted scale, but I hadn't built a scalable system. Organic success is beautiful, but it is not a business plan. Problem number two, avoiding the money conversation. When I was freelancing, I was terrified of pricing. Not because I didn't know my value. I knew my work was good. But I was afraid of the reaction, afraid of seeming greedy, afraid of losing the client before I'd even landed them. So I'd always ask the question that let me off the hook. What's your budget? And that question, as innocent as it sounds, immediately handed all the power to the other person. I was negotiating against myself before the conversation even started. I was undervaluing my work before a client had the chance to. Problem number three, operating without systems. This is the big one. This is the one that keeps most creatives in survival mode indefinitely. No repeatable processes, no KPIs, no ways to measure what's working. Every month feels like starting from scratch because nothing was documented, right? No automation, no delegation. You're not running a business, you're improvising one every single day. It almost starts to feel like an expensive hobby, my dear. And here's the thing, none of this is really your fault. The commercial side of creativity is barely taught, if at all, in most creative schools. We're trained to make beautiful things. We are rarely trained to sell them. But that changes right now. The first shift for today is the biggest one, and until you make it, nothing else will stick. You need to stop thinking like an artist and start thinking like a CEO without losing the artist. Now, I'm not asking you to sell your soul. I'm not asking you to become someone that you're not, okay? But what I need you to understand right now is that you are two people that need to coexist. You are the creative and you are the operator. Most of you are only showing up as one. The CEO mindset means you look at your creative practice as an entity that exists to serve people. I personally live by this quote, which says, use your creative gifts to serve others and generate value in exchange for money. That's it. It's not cold, it's not soulless, it's just clear. Here's a practical way to make this shift. Start treating your time like a product. Every hour you spend on client work, content creation, product development, assign it a dollar or pound value. What is 1 hour of your creative expertise worth? 50 pounds, $200, $500? If you've never answered that question concretely, you've been letting the market answer it for you. And the market will always lowball you. The second mindset shift, stop waiting for permission. Creative founders have a habit of waiting to be discovered, waiting to feel ready, waiting for someone to validate them before they even put a price on their work. But permission is a myth. Nobody is coming to tell you that you're ready. You decide that. And the third mindset shift, the one that changed everything for me, separate your ego from your pricing. When someone pushes back on your rate, it doesn't mean your work isn't good. It means they might not be your client. That's it. Your price is not synonymous with your talent. It's a business decision. The second pillar is market. And this is where so many creatives are essentially invisible. Now, you might be doing extraordinary work, but if the right people don't know about it, it doesn't matter. Here's a question I want you to sit with. Who specifically is your work for? Not everyone who appreciates good design, not brands who care about aesthetics, or the powerful woman who wants to be seen. None of that. You see how that says very little. You need a named, describable human being with a specific problem that your work solves. If you can't describe that person in detail, you don't have a market. You have a hope. Niching down feels like shrinking, but it actually does the opposite. It makes you magnetic to exactly the people who need you. A photographer who specializes in branding shoots for wellness founders will always out-earn a photographer who shoots anything. Because specialization signals expertise, and expertise commands premium pricing. The second market principle, your platform is your most underutilized asset. I see so many talented creatives posting inconsistently, apologetically, without strategy. You put out a piece of work and then you disappear for 3 weeks, and then you wonder why you're not growing. Your audience can't invest in you if you're not showing up. And I had to learn this the hard way. I've been there. But here's the shift. Stop thinking about social media as a highlight reel and start thinking about it as a sales funnel with personality. Every piece of content you put out should do one of 3 things: build trust, demonstrate expertise, or invite action. That's the framework: trust, expertise, action. And the third market principle, your network is your net worth. And I mean that literally. We've heard this before. The most consistently paid creatives I know didn't get there through just advertising alone. They got there through relationships, strategic collaborations, referral systems, showing up in rooms. It could be physical or digital. These are rooms where their ideal clients already exist. Your next breakthrough client is probably 2 conversations away. The question is, though, are you having those conversations? Now we get to the one everyone avoids the most: money. Let me be blunt. If you are uncomfortable talking about money, you will never make enough of it. That discomfort is costing you. Every time you underquote, every time you don't follow up on an invoice, every time you accept additional work that was initially negotiated without adding another fee on top of that, that's money leaking out of your business because you'd rather be liked than paid. The first principle within money. In the beginning, it's easy to price for the time you spend, but as you develop in your craft, build a name for yourself with outstanding results, you start to price for the value you create. You'll start to see that clients are paying for a brand identity that makes them look premium and attracts better clients. They're paying for a campaign that actually converts in a certain way. They're paying for a product that makes people feel something. When you understand that, it makes sense why two designers can charge wildly different rates for the same deliverable, and why both can be justified. One is still charging for time, the other one is now charging for transformation. Charge for transformation. The second money principle, build recurring revenue into your business model. Project-based income is exhausting. I've seen it before. You finish one project and immediately have to go find the next one. You're on a financial treadmill of some sort. The antidote is recurring revenue. Retainers, subscriptions, memberships, licensing, ongoing advisory relationships, even one or two main retainer clients can completely change the stability of your business and free up your mental energy to actually allow you to do your best work. The third money principle, know your numbers. What does it cost to run your business every month? What is your minimum viable revenue? This is the lowest amount of money your business must generate to cover all its expenses. Even if you're a freelancer, how much do you need to come into your account every month to stay afloat as somewhat of a salary? What is your profit margin, which is the money you keep after your expenses? If you don't know these numbers, you are flying blind. And I know numbers aren't sexy, but ignorance about your finances is not a creative personality trait. It is a liability. Get a simple spreadsheet, know your monthly costs, set a revenue target, track it every single week. That's it. You don't need to become an accountant. You just need to stop looking away. I have a simplified basic spreadsheet to help you account for these, and you can download it for free through the link in the description box. Here's what I want you to take away from this. You will always be a fantastic, talented, extraordinary creative. No one can take that from you. That is the foundation. That is the gift. But talent without strategy is just potential. And potential doesn't pay your rent. The most successful creative founders I know aren't the most talented people in the room. They are the ones who decided at some point on some ordinary Tuesday that they were done being broke and brilliant. That they were worth more, that their work was worth more. And they built the systems, the mindset, and the market presence to prove it. That decision is available to you right now, today. So here's your homework. 3 things. 1, write down what 1 hour of your time is worth. Commit to a number. 2, identify your most specific, most ideal client. Name them, describe them, know their problem. And 3, look at your last 3 months of income. What was your average? What would it take to double it? Write that number down somewhere you see it every day. You are not a starving artist. You are a creative entrepreneur. And there is an enormous difference between these two. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with a creative friend who needs to hear it. And remember, you are built different and built to last.